Rida had always been strong, but the day the doctor said, "Your little brother Ayaan needs open heart surgery," her world shook. She was only 20, carrying responsibilities far heavier than her age. Their father had passed away, and their mother's health was fragile. Ayaan, only 10, was the reason Rida woke up every morning. His laughter, his mischief, his energy, everything. The surgery cost nearly 300,000, and Rida had barely 40. She went from house to house, asking relatives, friends, and neighbors. They all said polite words, promises they never meant. "We'll try," they said, but no one helped. Every rejection made her feel like the world was closing in on her. One evening, while she sat on the hospital bench crying softly, someone called her name. She looked up and saw Zain, her old classmate. They weren't close, but he always respected Rida for her honesty and kindness. He sat beside her and asked gently, "What happened?" Rida didn't want to burden anyone, but her heart broke open. She told him everything, not expecting anything in return. Zain listened carefully, then said quietly, "Don't worry. Ayaan will be fine. I'll handle it." She shook her head. "No, Zain, it's too much." But he simply said, "He's your brother. And he's my brother too now." The next morning, Zain arranged all the money, using his savings, selling his bike, and borrowing from a few friends who trusted him. Rida couldn't stop crying when she heard. She tried to refuse, but he said, "If I was in your place, you would do the same for me." The day of the surgery arrived. Ayaan was scared but smiled weakly and whispered, "Sister, if I get better, we'll go for ice cream, the three of us." Rida forced herself to smile through tears. Yes, all three. The operation lasted 6 long hours. Rida walked around the corridor endlessly, hands shaking, heart pounding. Every doctor walking past felt like a message. Every second was heavy. When the surgeon finally stepped out and said, "The operation was successful," Rida dropped to her knees. Tears poured down, but this time, they were tears of relief. For the next 2 weeks, Zain visited every day. He brought balloons, chocolates, toys, everything that could make Ayaan smile. The little boy soon grew attached to him. One day, Ayaan whispered to Rida, "Sister, I think Zain really loves you." Rida laughed softly, but somewhere deep in her heart, the same thought had begun to blossom. When Ayaan finally came home, Zain helped with everything: bills, groceries, chores. He stayed late, making sure the family was okay. On Ayaan's first day back to school, Zain brought him a brand new school bag. Ayaan hugged him tightly and said, "You're the best." One evening, as the sun set, Rida and Zain stood on the rooftop watching the sky slowly change colors. Zain took a deep breath and said, "There's something I want to tell you, but I'm afraid." Rida turned to him. "Afraid of what?" He looked down and whispered, "Afraid that once I tell you, you'll walk away." Rida gently reached for his hand. "Why would I walk away from the man who saved my family?" Just then Ayaan burst onto the rooftop and shouted, "See, I told you both." All three of them laughed, a warm, happy sound that echoed through the quiet evening. A year later, Rida and Zain got married. Ayaan walked proudly beside them, telling everyone his favorite line, "My sister saved me, but Zain saved all of us." And that's how a broken family found healing, through sacrifice, kindness, and a love that was never planned but always meant to be.